you to the Sunday health session with Policy Bazaar. I'm going to be taking you through the session today, and a lot of you who have joined us already know that today's session is about the importance of exercise in life, and especially for working professionals who have a busy job, who have a desk job, who have a very hectic lifestyle. हो सकता है उनके पास टाइम नहीं है या ये भी हो सकता है कि उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में एक्सरसाइज को प्रायोरिटाइज नहीं किया है. सो आई थिंक दिस सेशन इज गोइंग टू बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल. And to talk about all this, we are joined by Dr. Manan Vora, who's an orthopedic surgeon and a sports medicine specialist. After completing medical school and surgical residency in orthopedics from Mumbai, he went on to pursue diploma in sports medicine from the International Olympic Committee, Switzerland, and masters in surgery from the University of Edinburgh and Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh, UK. He has also completed multiple fellowships in sports medicine, sports radiology, and pain medicine, as well as a diploma in football medicine. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you so much, Avi. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to an insightful chat about the topic which you just mentioned.
So am I, and so are all of us. And to the audience, I would like to tell you that after I'm done with my questions, I'm also going to be coming to you for your questions. So please keep them ready. जो भी आपके दिमाग में सवाल आते हैं सेशन के दौरान आप लिख कर रखिए और when I ask you, you can go ahead and ask your questions too. But I get to go first. So, doctor, सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए, is exercise that important and why?
So, I really want to clear this starting में क्योंकि हमारा जो generation है या the current generation that knows about exercise, they know of it for weight loss. सब सोच रहे हैं कि we want to look better. I want to fit into that dress. I have to get ready for someone's wedding. So everyone is focused on weight loss and aesthetics to look better. And they have been told that to do this, आपको workout करना चाहिए, आपको exercise करना चाहिए, which is great. Whatever your motivation is, that's not an issue. But we need to understand that exercise itself is very, very important for health. Now, when I say health, let me go back to the COVID pandemic, which recently just got over, of course. I'm sure everyone listening, including you, knew about what comorbidities are. क्योंकि सब जगह everyone was worried कि अच्छा इनको कोविड हुआ है लेकिन इनके पास कौन से कोमॉर्बिडिटीज है क्योंकि कोमॉर्बिडिटीज है तो आपका कोविड का रिस्क ज्यादा है and you may be more severely affected with COVID and whatever COVID deaths we were hearing about were more in people with comorbidities. Now, comorbidities, for those who still don't know what they are different types of chronic lifestyle diseases जैसे कि hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, stroke. All of these are called comorbidities which patients and people are living with. And when other diseases like COVID come, your risk of developing major complications is much higher because you have these comorbidities already within you and part of your lifestyle, part of your routine. Now, these comorbidities, how did they develop? Why did you get them? And how do we reduce the risk of developing these chronic lifestyle diseases? Is by, of course, variety of factors. One of them being exercise, second being nutrition, third being ideal mental health, being stress-free, fourth being maintaining ideal body weight, fifth being avoiding smoking, and of course there are certain genetic factors with which you cannot really do much right now. So the factors that are in your control are the 5 that I just mentioned, out of which one is exercise. So if you exercise, research has already shown that it's going to improve your body, improve the quality of your life, and it's going to improve your state in a way that it reduces the risk of developing these diseases. So while irrespective of your current age and where you are working, whatever you are doing, अगर आप थोड़ा भी exercise कर रहे हो वो अच्छी बात है, but if you are probably doing it thinking, मुझे weight loss करना है, I need my waist to be this much, I need to fit into this outfit, I need to look good in this one's wedding, or I need to look good myself, to be more appealing. All of those are your catalysts to help you exercise. But this should be a catalyst itself. The fact that, hey, you may be disease free for longer, you may live longer, and you may actually have a life without any health ailment, which is a great situation for you and for everyone around you. So that's how important exercise is, and I wanted to emphasize that from the health point of view, it is that important. It is proven that it reduces the risk of developing chronic lifestyle diseases, which are all the comorbidities that you've been hearing about since COVID happened. That's how important it is.
Absolutely. You put it really well. And I think the fact that a lot of people exercise because they want to look good, I think that's just a byproduct. And you get good health and you look good. So it's amazing. I mean, why would somebody not want to work out? But the
Absolutely.
next question is कि कितनी exercise enough है?
So, as per the research by the American College of Sports Medicine, they have said that 150 minutes per week of moderate exercise is what is the minimum required for it to be good for your health. Now, again, very careful sentence I have worded. 150 minutes matlab 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's not asking
I
for too
was just
much.
doing that calculation. That was too much maths for me. Okay.
That's really not asking for too much. It's 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. This is good for your health. Huh. Now, if you have higher goals of being much fitter, of reaching a particular aesthetic, reaching a particular fat percentage, or any fitness parameter कि मुझे X number of push-ups करना है या bench press करना है या deadlift करना है, obviously that time will differ. If you have different goals, it will increase based on that. Of course, your nutrition comes in, and we'll discuss that as well. But for your health, and since I am a doctor, I'll talk about health. I'm not a fitness new trainer or coach that needs to talk about weight loss primarily. 150 minutes per week, that is non-negotiable. इससे कम आपको करना ही नहीं है. That is not an option. And when you think about it, 150 minutes is not too much. I feel you can do much more than 150 minutes and try to go towards 250 to 300 minutes a week. But 150 minutes, because I have to tell you what science says, that's what it says. 150 minutes a week.
So I am a lot into fitness, and I think it's one of my primary passions to go to the
Okay.
gym and do weightlifting, and I do a lot of other things. So I do a lot of stories on Instagram, and I put a lot of posts of me working out. एक क्वेश्चन जो मुझे बहुत ज्यादा लोग पूछते हैं वो ये है कि हमारे पास तो टाइम ही नहीं है, हम तो वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, हमारा तो ऑफिस होता है, हम तो 8 बजे निकल जाते हैं, तो हम कैसे वर्कआउट करें? सो व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू से टू दोज वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स?
So I'd like to tell them that if you have time to brush your teeth and you have time to bathe, you need to make exercise a part of your routine wherein you shouldn't feel that you can go to sleep without doing it. It has to become part of your routine. And see, now I can tell this to you because you've tasted the benefits of exercise. It's become that kind of addiction for you. If like, and that is how it is with me as well. I feel incomplete in a particular day if I have not worked out. Of course, rest days is a completely separate thing, and your body needs time to rest and recover, which is also something once a week everyone should do. But the other 6 days, you should actually get an itch कि यार मैंने कुछ किया नहीं है. Now I completely agree. It's very difficult for people. In the working those hours, many people have to travel to their workplace. You have a lot of stress. You have deadlines nowadays. We talk of the entire hustle culture and people facing burnout because घर जाने के बाद भी they are constantly working. Emails आ रहे, boss say they have deadlines to reach, so people are working at home as well. I completely get all of those things, but it is about how you prioritize things. Now you need to first, अगर आप समझोगे ही नहीं कि ये इतना important है आपके life के लिए, then you won't be able to incorporate it only. So step one is understand its importance. Fine, you are working 9 to 5 in the office, probably 4 more hours before and after work or whatever it is, to probably earn more money and have a more satisfying life with your family. But that will not happen if you are not healthy. You will not be able to enjoy the fruits of your hard work today if you are suffering from ailments right from the age of 35, 40, 45, 50. Nowadays the life expectancy has increased so much because of the advancement of health, medicine, and science. We have treatments to help you live longer and pain free in all fields of medicine. So if you are only focused in your pivotal years, which is between the age of 20 to 45, which is when these lifestyle diseases can start picking up and start surfacing by the age of 40s, mid 40s, तो अगर आपने इसको प्रायोरिटी बनाया ही नहीं है तो फिर आपको कोई हेल्प नहीं कर सकता. The idea is to understand its importance. Now, of course, the second thing is that there's a lot you can do also in your workplace, right from taking the stairs, right from a few chair exercises, right from if you have a meeting to attend, instead of taking it at your desk or taking it in a cubicle, you actually can just walk and take that meeting, get in some steps during that at that time. So there's a lot of things that technically can be considered as means of exercise even in a workplace, which is not something that can completely substitute a 1 hour workout. I completely agree, because in a 1 hour workout your heart rate has to go much higher for it to actually benefit you. But you can also do a lot of passive stuff while you are working as well. But the main focus should be कि यार try and understand how important it is for you, just how Just like I said, you eat lunch, you eat dinner, you bathe, you brush, you work out. It's as simple as that. It becomes a part of your routine.
So funny you talk about the itch. आज संडे है और मुझे याद नहीं मैंने लास्ट टाइम रेस्ट डे कब लिया था अपने वर्कआउट में. So today I have forced myself to stay in bed and not go to the gym, and I feel great because I think that's also important.
Very important.
And yeah, and for all those people who are looking for motivation, if this is not motivation, that you want to spend quality time with your family for the rest of your life or for the most part of your life, what else is, I don't know. Now also a lot of people get confused between what is health and what is fitness. तो ये दोनों चीजों में क्या फर्क होता है?
So, health is basically the absence of any physical or mental disease. That is the true definition of health. Fitness is the ability to complete a certain physical task in an amount of time. So, it's a very, very different definition. My point is, a person can be healthy and be completely unfit. A person can be fit but completely unhealthy. A person can be healthy and fit, and a person can be unhealthy and unfit. All four possibilities are there. Now, when we look at each other on the screen, I may be able to do 25 push ups within 30 seconds, which is a parameter of fitness. But I may have history of heart disease in the family, and at the age of 30 I may be taking BP medication, and I may have a comorbidity making me unhealthy. But across the screen I may appear fit to you. In a gym I may appear fit to you. So there's a very big difference between health and fitness. Our idea is to tackle both of them separately. It's not about कि हाँ मुझे बस ये करना है, ये नहीं करना है, मुझे बस ये करना है, ये नहीं करना है. So that is a very important differentiation, that आप healthy और fit हमें दोनों रहना है, and that is why I needed to just differentiate this and say that this is health, this is fitness.
So matlab fitness is a little bit like building your stamina so that you can do everyday activities without getting tired.
Absolutely. Stamina is again just one part of fitness. I mean, I can think of strength, stamina, speed, agility. There's so many things that come under fitness, even balance, proprioception, mobility, flexibility. All of these things are different parameters of fitness. And when you reach particular levels, which again can be compared with reference standards of someone your age, your gender, in your country, and your kind of profession, of course, because we can't compare my 30-year-old to the 30-year-old Indian cricketer. Obviously, I'm expecting him to be much fitter than me. So again, considering the average, you can be considered fit or unfit or at a certain level of fitness. But your blood reports, your scans, your history, your physical examination will decide whether you are healthy or unhealthy. So they are completely two different things, health and fitness. They often get intertwined and mixed up, and people say, "Ah, yaar, ye to bahut fit hai." They see someone who appears slim or appears lean, and they look at him, "Arey yaar, शादी के buffet में यार तू तो खा ले यार, तू तो बहुत fit है." But how do you know if he's fit? Can he do 2 pull-ups? Can he run from point A to point B in this much time? Can he run on a treadmill for even on speed 5 for 10 minutes without panting? I don't think he can. That does not mean he's fit. Or you look at someone who is probably heavyweight, but he's able to do those things. That means he's probably fit. But hey, have you checked his cholesterol levels? Have you checked his triglycerides? They're all over the roof. He's not healthy, but hey, he can do a couple of physical activities. He's probably fit. So it's very, very different.
True, and I mean, I may be a little off, but we hear about so many people getting a stroke on the treadmill. People who've been going to the gym for so many years, they look fit, they look healthy, they look really nice. But things like that happen, which only tells you that, that's where the health comes into play. But also, doctor, बहुत से लोगों को joint pains वगैरह होते हैं. जैसे I was just telling you before the session began that I'm very injury prone. I have multiple slip discs, and बहुत often ऐसा होता है कि gym में कुछ करते करते मुझे backache shuru ho jati, and then I have to get call a physiotherapist to fix me up. So people who have joint pains or who have chronic, or या तो desk job में बैठे बैठे, lack of exercise, they've developed these problems. तो उनके लिए exercise मतलब क्या कर सकते हैं वो, and what is the importance of weight training? ऐसी हालत में भी weight training करनी चाहिए जैसे मैं करती हूँ?
So this is a very broad question, because I mean, it's very tough for me to cover every type of injury and every type of pain. So what I would like to say is that broadly we can classify it into two parts. One is an acute injury or acute pain, कि आप gym गए, आपने deadlift करने की try की, you caught your back, you felt a sound, or you feel you got a catch, and it's just happened in the last 48 to 72 hours, that's an acute incident or an acute injury. Then you have chronic or overuse injuries, which are repeated over a particular amount of time. Like, for example, I'm constantly flexing my neck because I'm constantly working on the laptop. And because I'm in this position for 10 hours a day over the last 6 months, I'm having neck pain. This is not an acute incident. This is a chronic related thing. Now, for an acute thing, it's very, very important that you take rest. You get diagnosed, you make sure you are, if it's an ankle joint or something, it may have to be immobilized, it may have to be strapped, and then you may have a proper protocol by which you can then return to lifting weights. But when you have a chronic thing, in most cases, it is already caused due to repeated micro trauma of those particular muscle fibers or that particular tendon, or there's enough stiffness if it's things like your neck or your lower back, which is not a contraindication to lifting weights. In that case, we actually want to mobilize you. We don't want you to rest. So we want you to do more exercises. We want you to lift weights. We want you to do all of that so that your body's ligaments, tendons, muscles become stronger and they support the load that you are putting on it. See, when I have cervical spondylosis because of excessive neck flexion due to excessive laptop usage or phone usage, the treatment does not lie in resting. It does not lie in wearing a cervical collar. It lies in doing more and more neck exercises. It lies in doing shoulder workouts, which will work my trapezius muscles and my deltoid muscles and my rotator cuff muscles, so that I open up all these muscles and my muscles become stronger and they are able to take the load of me flexing my neck and doing it. So in that case, in a chronic pain case, yes, please go work out. That is in fact the treatment, not a pill that you can take or something like that. So in chronic, please go ahead and work out. In acute, you need to get rest as well as get diagnosed for your problem, so that you get a plan that, hey, from day 10 onwards you can go back to the gym or you can start working out, or hey, we'd rather send you to a physiotherapist who puts you on a 2-week protocol and then you start gymming. So that's how I'd like to broadly put it, as acute and chronic.
So I think what I understand from what you just said is कि weightlifting जो होती है, a lot of people believe कि weightlifting का मतलब है कि मुझे बड़े बड़े biceps बनाने हैं तो मुझे weightlifting करनी चाहिए, but it's not that. Just because you're lifting weights doesn't mean that you have to lift very heavy weights and go towards that. But lifting weight is just generally exercising all the muscles of your body so that you can strengthen them and generally be a fitter person, right?
So let me add one point. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right at what you said. But when you said ki it generally means exercising all your muscles, someone may argue that, hey, I can do yoga and exercise all my muscles. I can do Zumba and exercise all my muscles. I can do Pilates and exercise all my muscles. So the reason why I advocate strength training or resistance training so much is because when you lift an external weight, you are forcing those muscle fibers to have small tears. Now, when, let's say I'm doing a simple bicep curl, when I'm doing a bicep curl and I'm doing it even with a 5 kg dumbbell, that contraction and relaxation of my bicep muscle is causing muscle tears in those muscle fibers. Now, while I am resting, these tears are then getting repaired. These muscle fibers are then repairing and they are working even while I am at rest. So that is the difference between doing, say, a cardio or a yoga, which, and I'm not against any other form of workout, but over there you have active calorie burn while you are doing that activity. But because you lift weights, you involve resistance, you are causing a positive damage to your muscle fibers, and the repairing of those muscle fibers while you are resting is called a passive calorie burn. And your body burns calories when it's trying to repair those muscles. And while it repairs, the strength increases and the bulk increases. And that is what muscles are, and why the curves come, and why you feel, oh, now I have biceps. So that is the difference between lifting weight / resistance versus not lifting weight. In one, you are promoting an active and passive calorie burn. Means even while you are sleeping, you are burning more calories because your muscles are working. You are not working, but your muscles are working. That is passive calorie burn. But while you are doing a cardio or a dance session or a Zumba session, you are only doing active calorie burn. You are not hitting your muscle fibers hard enough for them to feel the need to repair and build and regrow and become stronger. That is why you see far better gains while you are doing strength training compared to other forms of workout, though you can lose weight in both, because at the end of the day it is calorie burn. So when you have a hack, it's a hack in life, that यार मैं सो रहा हूँ तभी भी मेरे calories burn हो रहे हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली मैं यही करूंगा ना, एक्टिव प्लस पैसिव दोनों मुझे मिल रहे हैं, हेंस द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग.
एंड ऑल्सो आई फील, एंड करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, कि जो बॉडी में जो मसल मास होता है, एज वी ग्रो ओल्डर वी टेंड टू लूज दैट मसल मास. Correct. And
Absolutely.
that is also the reason why you need to do strength training to keep your muscle mass in a good condition. Correct.
Absolutely. Not just muscle mass, but also your bone density. It's very, very important. And see, after the age of 30, all our bone density starts falling. Up till 30, you will reach a peak, your bone density. So, for those who don't know, bone density literally means the amount of calcium and other minerals that are there in your bone, which define how strong your bones are. This is a natural graph of life that up till the age of 30, 30 ko it hits peak and then it starts going down. This is normal. You cannot do anything to say that मैं 35 तक ऊपर जाऊंगा. It cannot be done. 30 के बाद your bone density is going down. Now, how do we preserve this bone density, or how do we reduce the rate at which it goes down? Because that is in your hands. That is where exercise comes in, by strengthening and building the muscle mass. This will make your bones stronger by ensuring you're taking calcium and vitamin D in your food sources or supplements if you are deficient, by ensuring you are of an ideal body weight, by ensuring that you don't smoke. These are the main 4 points in which you ensure कि आपका जो नीचे वाला ग्राफ जा रहा है बोन डेंसिटी का, उसका स्पीड थोड़ा कम हो जाए. सो इट इज इन योर हैंड्स टू मेक श्योर दैट if you weren't doing all these things, आप 35 पे अगर यहाँ होते, but now wait, you're ensuring that at 45 you're here. So you've delayed that decrease by 10 years because you are taking all the right steps. So that's where it's very, very important. Now, the reason why in Indians it is all the more important is because Indian women, mainly Indian women, are very prone to what we call as osteoporosis. For those who don't know, osteoporosis means that your bones become brittle, they become fragile, they become weak by the age of 45 to 55, and then you are more prone to fractures. Of course, if your bones are weaker, fracture matlab bone tootne ka chances zyada hai. Now, why are men protected? Is because men don't have, of course, a menstrual cycle. Their hormones and are usually intact throughout life, but women have a menstrual cycle. There is a certain level of progesterone, estrogen balance that goes on till their menstrual cycle is in place. But usually at 45 to 48, women experience menopause, is when the menstrual cycles stop, and that balance changes. वो जो estrogen was providing that protection to your bones, that stops completely because your menstrual cycle has stopped, which exposes your bones to becoming brittle faster, which is why we experience patients with osteoporosis in women after menopause mainly. That is why for women, all the more, strength training is more important than men, because you all have to deal mainly with this osteoporosis issue that is going to come up in life. Very few men get osteoporosis, but women all over the place. Indian women even more. So this, it's not just about looking good or wearing a particular outfit for a particular wedding. We're talking of a whole lot of lifestyle diseases. We're talking of bone density. We're talking of osteoporosis, and all of it boils down to, hey, I need to eat healthier and I need to exercise, work out, give resistance and strength to my body so that my joints become stronger, my muscle mass increases, my bones become stronger.
I'm so glad that we are having this conversation because, I'm somebody who's frequently trolled for working out because I'm 42 years old. I'm a cancer survivor. And after my surgery was over, I literally was back in the gym in 7 days, not because I was lifting weights, but because I was doing my physiotherapy and I just wanted to, feel uh, at home while doing it. और कितने लोगों ने ऐसा बोला कि ये नहीं करना चाहिए, you'll hurt yourself, you'll harm yourself. But I know, and I'm talking from personal experience, that when I started working out, I was 31 years old, when I had never seen the insides of a gym. And from that time to today, I have sort of trained my body to, be a certain way and to be able to tolerate certain kind of stress, and also disciplined myself to be able to incorporate that routine in my daily life. And I don't want to put a stop to it. तो जितना होता है उतना तो मैं जरूर करती हूँ. I'm really glad that
I'm sure now when you look back at it, you think that I wish I had started at 21, right? Because you've seen so many
absolutely.
benefits in the last 10 years. So that's all the more reason why we need to create that awareness, whether on social media or otherwise, that hey, if you're 16 and watching this, this is the time. If you're 40 and watching this and have probably a 12-year-old child, you can start educating them at this age as well. So yeah, it's great that there's a lot more awareness about it, and we see a lot more people incorporating it at the age of 16 to 21, and 20 years later they'll be thanking everyone who's told them to be working out. So yeah, it's never too late. Every day
Yes.
waste is a day too late. So that's how important it is.
Absolutely. And I think also the time that you work out, anybody's in the gym or walking or running or whatever it is that you're doing for fitness, that is the best time also for you to connect with yourself, which is also a stress buster because your mind is off all the other things that are going on in your daily life. So for that reason also it's great. But you spoke about never being too late. तो एक सवाल मैं पूछ लेती हूँ कि कौन सी एज में, I mean, a lot of people who are watching us must be 40 plus. So कौन सी एज में वर्कआउट शुरू करना ठीक है?
I am a firm believer that kids should be lifting weights as well. It's a big myth that agar kids workout karenge, when I say workout, I'm talking about gym, I'm talking about lifting weights. To anyone here who feels that they have heard statements like up till 18 no one should enter the gym, up till 16 no one should enter the gym, inki height nahi badhegi, all of that is wrong. There is no scientific evidence that correlates lifting weights to stunting of growth. Yes, if you have any major injury before the age of 18, it can damage your epiphyseal growth plate, which is the growth plate of your bones, because of which growing can be an issue. But this is an injury that can happen while playing a sport. This is an injury that can happen in a car accident. This is an injury that can happen
Absolutely.
with a fall. So to correlate it to lifting weights particularly is not the right thing. If even an 11-year-old kid goes to the gym and starts lifting weights, starts deadlifting, starts doing a bench press, doing it with proper guidance and ensuring that their form and technique is looked after, the chances of anything happening are same as crossing a road. If you're allowing your kid to cross a road or ride a cycle on a road, there also an injury can happen, there also an accident can happen. So lifting weights and age has nothing to do with your height being stunted, with your height not growing. So I know this is more about working professionals, but we're not even talking of 40-year-olds. I'm saying that even a 6-year-old can lift weights today. So there's no reason why they shouldn't. We have athletes from different parts of the world winning gold medals at Olympics at the age of 16. If anyone is thinking that they have not been to a gym and they have not been lifting from the age of 8, they are very, very mistaken. They have been training a couple of hours a day in the gym and lifting weight. So there's no question about anyone at the age of 30, 35, 40. मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ आपके बच्चों को start करो, because that is the target we are talking to right now. And each day that you have not worked out, please start working out as soon as possible.
Okay, just one sec. I'll call my daughter. Ariza, go to the gym. Okay, but talking about injuries. So I think, in my opinion, and please correct me if I'm wrong, वेट लिफ्टिंग में तो कम इंजरीज होने के चांसेस हैं बिकॉज आप जो भी मूवमेंट कर रहे हो वो स्लो कर रहे हो और आप अपनी कैपेसिटी के हिसाब से वेट उठा रहे हो तो आपकी इंजरी के चांस कम होंगे रादर देन डूइंग समथिंग व्हिच इज हाई इम्पैक्ट लाइक रनिंग यू कैन फॉल डाउन यू कैन ब्रेक अ बोन एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट सो आई पर्सनली फील दैट वेट लिफ्टिंग इज एक्चुअली गिविंग मी मोर प्रोटेक्शन देन एनीथिंग एल्स व्हिच इज हाई इम्पैक्ट सो डॉक्टर ये बताइए कि आप एज एन ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन आपको क्या लगता है कमिंग बैक टू वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स कि वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स कौन सी इंजरीज के ज्यादा प्रोन होते हैं लाइक व्हाट आर द इंजरीज दैट दे आर मोर प्रोन टू एंड व्हाट शुड दे डू
So again, because working professionals are spending so much time sitting on a desk, sitting on a chair, it's not really injuries, because usually when we say, I mean, technically, yes, anything can be called an injury, but usually when we associate the word injury, we talk about a fall or something that has happened during a physical activity. So let's rephrase that into orthopedic conditions for that matter. So it is they mainly face issues related to their posture. They mainly face issues related to stiffness of their muscles because of lack of mobility, lack of moving. Main thing that working professionals are doing is that they are sitting on a desk, sitting in a particular position for 8 to 10 hours a day. So they're facing a lot of neck pains. That's the first thing. Secondly, we're seeing a lot of hand and finger and wrist related things because they're constantly like this, they're typing or they're constantly doing this. So there's a lot of early finger related issues, early hand joint related, early wrist pain related issues that we are constantly seeing. There's a lot of lower back pains. Again, this is because you are not moving your body, so obviously your muscles are going to get stiff over a period of time. If I sit and ask all these corporate professionals that in your 8-hour window, apart from going to the washroom maybe once or twice and getting up for lunch, how many times are you actually getting up? And of course, those who need to really move around as part of their work, it's different to go to different rooms. But there are some who are so glued to their computer or laptop that they don't realize that, hey, they started work at 9 and now it's 12:45. They've not had a time to go to the washroom or even drink a sip of water when the bottle could be lying right there. And now it's time for lunch. So they chalo, just get up for lunch, and they get back. They spend the next 4 hours doing the same thing. Latest research has shown, and I'll say latest because we've spent a lot of years telling people that, hey, raise the level of your laptop so that your neck doesn't do this. Buy the fanciest of chairs so that your back is at a particular arch, so your back pain gets sorted, your neck pain gets sorted. There's newer devices that have come up to provide support to your wrist so that there's a cushion when you are typing so you don't get wrist pain. We spent a lot of time doing this, and all of us have, because this is what research was telling us. The latest research has actually said that you can avoid almost all of these orthopedic conditions. And I know I'm saying this reducing my own future business, but hey, prevention is better than cure, by just getting up more often. So the latest research is actually telling people that ठीक है, अगर आपको चेयर और डेस्क पे बैठना है, आप चेयर और डेस्क पे बैठो. अगर आपको लैपटॉप नॉर्मल टेबल के हाइट पे रखना है, आप नॉर्मल टेबल के हाइट पे रखो. अगर आपको नेक बेंड करके देखना है, आप वो भी करो. आपको पूरा दिन टाइप करना है, आप वो भी कर लो. दैट्स कंप्लीटली ओके. हम बस ये एडवाइस कर रहे कि 8 hours के वर्क में every 1 hour for 1 minute you have to get up. There is no question about it. Set an alarm on your watch, on your phone, wherever you want. You work for 59 minutes. When 59 minutes get over, you get up from your chair. Now, when you get up from your chair, your back and your neck is going from flexion to extension. So already you are moving those muscles, you are preventing that stiffness. You quickly move your neck, you ensure all neck movements, you just move your spine a little, just stretch a little. It takes 5 seconds to do this. Literally go for a walk around the office, just one round around the office, drink a glass of water and come sit back in your place. It takes less than 1 minute to do this. Now, when you do this, you are ensuring your cervical muscles don't get stiff. You are ensuring your spinal lower back muscles don't get stiff because you have gotten up. Just getting up itself is causing enough extension. Walking though is helping all the more. Your legs, which have stayed in that particular position, they extend. So your knee joint is extending. So your hamstrings and quads are moving a little. Your calves are getting activated. I'm telling you to stretch your fingers so that these don't become stiff. These don't stay in a particular position quickly. Yeah, exactly. Just do that once. Just move your wrist. Your eyes get a break away from the screen. And I'm telling you to drink a glass of water so that you hit your water goals as well. So this is a basic tip that I have come up with that I tell all working professionals, that just put an alarm and do this once every hour. So you are never in that particular position only. When you are not in that particular position, your cervical muscles will not get stiff. You will not face neck pain. Your back muscles will not get stiff. You will not face back pain. Your legs will not get stiff and face cramps when you suddenly go to work out. Finger and wrist pains, which up over a period of time, you are constantly moving them and constantly causing this. You're drinking water, so you're giving your eyes a break also. This is literally a 5-step rule that I've come up with, and I hope everyone follows it. 1 minute every hour is all I ask from you. That's it. I don't think that's asking for too much.
Yes, that's not asking for too much at all. My physiotherapist also tells me that I always sit with my legs crossed. So you have to stop doing that because my left side completely gets jammed and she has to completely, release it every now and then. But ये
So
तो
again,
ठीक है, ये तो हाँ, tell me.
Sorry. Yeah. So again, my take on that will be sit with your legs crossed. It's okay.
Okay.
The issue happens when you sit. The issue happens when you sit with your legs crossed in a particular position for long duration of hours, enough to cause muscular stiffness, and then she has to keep releasing you. So the issue is not sitting with your legs crossed. If you also get up every 1 hour, stretch it, go back to your position and sit with your legs crossed, over time you will not face the same problem. So I partially agree with her that the issue is when you sit for a long duration of time. I still wouldn't say sitting with your legs crossed, bending your back and watching a screen is completely wrong, as long as you frequently move out of that position and do something else. That's my takeaway from this.
ठीक है. So I'm going to try that. Hopefully I'll save a lot of money.
Done.
But what we just spoke about is how to avoid injuries and how to avoid, all these problems that people face while sitting at desk jobs. What would you like to advise to people who really are looking at weight loss? People, working professionals who are looking at weight loss. एक तो चीज आपने already बोली कि अगर आप strength training करोगे तो आप सोते टाइम भी calories burn कर रहे हो और क्या कर सकते हैं वो?
See, weight loss is a complex topic that I can take 5 hours on. So to break it down very, very simply, the first thing I'd like to tell people is कि don't focus on weight loss. जो आपका body weight है, that is due to bone mass, it is due to fat mass, it is due to the amount of water weight that is there in your body. जो हम body composition बोलते हैं, body composition जो होता है, that comprises of various things: the amount of bone weight, muscle mass, the amount of water content, the amount of protein content. There's so many things that comprise your body weight, which you stand on the weighing scale and find out. Focus on fat loss and inch loss. That is more important. Don't focus on weight loss. You can lose weight without exercising. You can lose weight just by eating lesser calories than you're supposed to, and your weighing scale will show you weight loss. Is that healthy weight loss? It's not. You need to focus on fat loss or inch loss. These are the two ways to measure whether you are losing healthy weight or not. Now, ideal situation would be is to go through a body composition analysis, which there are various ways to go through with varied levels of accuracy. Find out कि आपके बॉडी में कितना मसल मास है. चलो, लेट्स अज्यूम आप 80 kgs के हो. ये 80 kgs में कितना वेट मसल मास है, कितना वेट फैट मास है, कितना वाटर है, और एग्जैक्ट यू गेट टू नो योर बॉडी फैट परसेंटेज, and then you go on a weight loss program or a fat loss program to see whether your fat percentage has gone down or not. And that is when your actual weight, which your weighing scale is showing, will tell you whether it's healthy weight loss or not. So that is the first thing I want to clear. Ki everyone talks about weight loss, but we need to focus on fat loss. Now, the main principle of weight/fat loss is obviously following calorie deficit. For those who don't still know what a calorie deficit is, it means that you are supposed to consume with food an amount of calories during the day that is lesser than the amount of calories you are otherwise burning throughout the day, to then be in a calorie deficit. Now, how will you calculate that? Every individual has a maintenance calories. If you go on YouTube and search how to calculate my maintenance calories, you will get a bunch of videos that give you a calculation based on your age, the amount of physical activity you do, a 24-hour recall of the amount of food you intake. So let's assume 80 kgs person has a 2000 calorie मेंटेनेंस कैलोरी लेवल. इसका मतलब है कि अगर आप 2000 कैलोरीज खाओगे तो आपका वेट 80 केजीज ही रहेगा. अगर आप 2000 से कम खाओगे आपका वेट कम होगा. अगर आप 2000 से ज्यादा खाओगे ओवर टाइम आपका वेट बढ़ेगा. सो दैट इज द मेन कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कैलोरी डेफिसिट और कैलोरी सरप्लस. So the main thing everyone needs to understand is that you need to be in a calorie deficit to actually lose weight, lose fat. Now, like I said, let's assume I eat rubbish food during the day, but I still ensure I lose only 1800 calories. Let's say मैंने खाया 800 कैलोरी का पिज्जा, 450 कैलोरी का बर्गर और 250 कैलोरीज का फ्राइज. मैंने लंच, स्नैक और डिनर यही खाया है, पर इसका कैलकुलेशन भी सिर्फ 1800 कैलोरीज है. इसका मतलब है कि मैं ये खा के भी वेट लूज कर सकता हूं, बट दैट इज नॉट हेल्दी वेट लॉस. मैं वेइंग स्केल पे अगर देखूंगा 1 वीक के बाद कि मैंने 7 दिन के लिए सिर्फ 1800 कैलोरीज खाए हैं, but my maintenance calorie was 2000, I will 100% lose weight even with pizza, burger and fries. But this did not have the amount of proteins that my body was supposed to consume. This did not preserve my muscle mass because I did not exercise and provide resistance to the muscles of my body, which is why my muscle mass has gone down, and that is reflecting in my overall weight going down. My fat didn't go down because I'm eating fatty foods only. Yes, to some level even your fat can go down, but it is not healthy loss. So we need to understand that to lose weight/fat or to lose healthy weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, but you need to be in a calorie deficit by consuming the amount of protein, carbs and fat that are supposed to be consumed by you, and you need to exercise to preserve that muscle mass. Now, when you preserve that muscle mass by A, good protein intake, and B, resistance training, you force your body to burn the fat to reduce the weight. Because your weight has to come down. आप तो कैलोरी डेफिसिट में हुई. अच्छा, उसके ऊपर मैंने 1800 कैलोरीज का हेल्दी फूड खाया इंस्टेड ऑफ 2000, प्लस मैंने 400 कैलोरी का वर्कआउट किया. मतलब मेरा नेट तो 1400 हो गया ना. 1800 minus 400, क्योंकि आई बर्न 400 मोर.
Yeah,
मतलब
plus you also increased your muscle mass. All that went towards your muscle mass.
एब्सोल्यूट. तो ये तो और भी बड़ा डेफिसिट हो जाएगा क्योंकि मैंने 400 कैलोरी और भी एक्सरसाइज किए. अल्टीमेटली इट्स अ कैलकुलेशन बिटवीन कैलोरीज कंज्यूम्ड एंड कैलोरीज बर्न. So if I've consumed 1800 and I've burned 400, that makes my net 1400, and 2000 minus 1400 is 600. So ये 600 calorie deficit will show in actually your weighing scale, and this time it will show positively because you ate protein rich foods which are important for muscle mass, and you worked out and provided resistance. Matlab your muscles are you're not losing muscle mass, so your weight is not your muscle, it's your fat. So that is the ideal way to go about it: calorie deficit and exercise and weight training. And this is the entire explanation behind it on how you can go about making your fat loss program. And of course, if you need expertise and guidance for this, you should take it. But this is the common principle. Anyone else selling any other funda to you of detox diets and 7 din mein 3 kg come is just a quick fad. That is not science. That is just a quick fad which will happen. It will happen, but that's not a long term and lifestyle change that you need to aim for.
Absolutely. So before I move on to the audience questions, I'm going to ask you some of my own.
Sure.
Okay, you were talking about the body composition. So my fat percentage is 18% and my muscle mass is 38.6%. Is that good? I'm 42 years old, 50 kgs.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Super. We can move on. अच्छा, ये बताइए कि ये भी मैं पूछ रही हूँ कि when we work out, like when we do intense, high intensity workouts and all, the heart rate really goes up. Is there like a dangerous range for your heart rate कि इतना ऊपर चला गया अब आपको heart attack हो जाएगा?
No, so there is no fixed number that anyone can say for anything. ये जो heart attacks हो रहे to anyone in the gym, strokes are happening, working out professionals are also facing issues. I mean, recently the last 1 year has seen a lot of celebrities having issues while going to the gym, perfectly healthy people. Honestly, we don't have answers to them. The only thing that research is telling us is that they may have pre-existing heart diseases which were not diagnosed. That's the only thing. So the only thing I can advise in that, and I say this 1 hour after I have just booked my own cardiac checkup for Tuesday, just because I've turned 30 this year and I really want to ensure that I get my cardiac checkup done because I work out a lot. I ensure my heart rate goes up as well. So you get an ECG done, you get a 2D echo done, and you get a treadmill test done. This will all ensure that if all of these are within normal, you have done everything in your capacity. Does this mean, now assuming मेरा Tuesday को normal आया, does this mean मेरा Friday को heart attack नहीं हो सकता? It does not mean. I do not have control over that. But same way I don't have control over the ceiling falling over my head in the next 5 minutes. I don't have a control over that as well. So ensure you get a cardiac checkup done, especially after the age of 30, especially men, because history of heart disease in men is also very, very high. So men who are working out after the age of 30, once in 2 to once in 3 years, a cardiac checkup is not the worst thing. We see a lot of people getting a routine cardiac checkup and finding 60% blockage in their artery and them needing a procedure which prevented a heart attack, probably could have happened 3 months later. So a cardiac checkup is extremely, extremely important, but that's the only thing in your control. You cannot say कि राजू श्रीवास्तव को जिम में हार्ट अटैक हुआ मतलब मुझे जिम जाना नहीं चाहिए. That does not help. There is more research saying that go to the gym and work out to prevent heart disease in the future than which is saying that if you go to the gym and you increase your heart rate, you'll get heart disease on the spot. So you still have to go to the gym. You still have to work out. That's an unfortunate incident due to something that was A, never checked or diagnosed in the past, B, no answer to it. So you still have to go and do what you have to do.
Yeah, so, absolutely. It's like saying that, oh, so many people die in road accidents, so I'm going to go out of my house now because I'll die.
Absolutely. You still take a flight, you still take public transport, you still do everything that you do, hoping that nothing happens to you. You can't sit at home. Asha, even if you sit at home, an earthquake can happen and something wrong can happen. So that's not making sense. So do I have an answer to a particular heart rate? I don't have an answer for that. The only thing to keep in mind is that there are certain red flags being shortness of breath, sudden headache, nausea, chest pain. All of this can happen if you've suddenly gone to 180, 190 heart rate and you're usually used to 70, 80. Now I am used to 180, 190, so मेरे लिए ठीक होगा, but someone else may not be used to. So if you face those red flags, it's time to stop. That is important to keep those red flags in mind. You don't have to look at your smartwatch and say, hey, 180, damn, Dr. Manan said I need to stop. No, you don't need to stop. You don't need to stop. You can go more. You can go more. I'm not saying everyone go to 180. Please don't get my advice wrong. My advice is that push yourself, push your limits. But if you face a red flag, it's time to stop. That is more important rather than a number on your smartwatch.
Yeah, and I think stress being on your limits. So whatever is your limit, you push that. Like I also easily go up to 180, 190, and I don't think I want to push my limits beyond that. I'm very happy doing that. But wherever is your highest heart rate that you've reached, maybe push it by 5 more. And now I'm coming. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you because I just don't want the audience to get a wrong message. Also, it's very important to note that Chavi and I have both said 180, but that was built over time by people who are working out 6 days a week. We never went to 180 on the first day. So if you have never worked out and you are used to a 60 to 90 heart rate, 110 is what you probably would go to, and it will slowly get built up to 110, 20, 30, 40, and you'll probably reach a point wherein you're like, now I'm working myself. So it's a gradual build up for everyone. It's not about seeing a number on your watch.
I think your body will yourself, you'll get to know when it's getting too much for you. So it's important to just read the signs of your own body. Now, coming to the audience questions, working professionals, since we are talking about, बहुत से लोग busy रहते हैं और उनको morning में time नहीं मिलता है. So is it a good idea to work out in the night?
So again, this is a very people make videos on social media and they kind of propagate ki work out at this day, it's this time of the day it's better. Work out at this time of the day it's better. You have 24 hours in the day. Find 1 hour at any time. It does not matter. Morning, afternoon, evening, night, before work, after work, lunch break. There is no connection between the time of your workout at the time of the day. It doesn't matter. Work out whenever you can. Just get up and move. That's the only thing that matters.
And somebody wants to know what is the role of BMI in health support? How to lose BMI and calories?
My answer is that BMI. So BMI is basically a number that you get based on your weight and your height. In 2023, BMI is obsolete. Please stop checking your BMI only. It means nothing. Your BMI can come under the normal range and you may still be 12 kgs overweight, and that does not mean anything based on your height. So stop checking BMI. Let's move towards body composition parameters. Now, when I say body composition, I'm talking about what I mentioned, the fat and muscle and all of that. However, please be careful that there are various devices out in the market which are far from accurate and they give you a very different picture. You have smartwatches nowadays giving you body mass compositions and they are very far off. See, they'll give you a rough idea, but they won't give you the exact this thing. Should I be okay? The ideal way to check your body composition is a bone mass density scan. It's called a BMD DEXA scan, which is basically done ideally, which is what we do in women in whom, not women, patients in whom we are suspecting osteoporosis, which is what we discussed. It's basically a scan that takes 15 minutes. You have to go to a radiologist clinic and it's a 15-minute scan. It costs about 2,500 rupees. That is the number one accurate way to find out, hey, your body fat percentage was the 18 that you thought it was. I don't know what you have done. Have you done an in-body analysis or what have you done to get your 18%? I'm not sure. What have you done?
Should I tell you? I will sound really ignorant because I don't know what that machine was, but I stood on it and I held my hands on it.
Your hands.
It's like a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a good machine. It's better than smartwatches. It's about 80 to 85% accurate. I'll tell you why that machine is good, because I'm sure whenever you go on that machine, you go on the same machine or a similar machine. So you must have seen progress based on the results you are seeing yourself. So suppose it was 21%, it may have shown 19 then and 18 then. So as a reference, it's good to tell you that, hey, you are improving, but I'm not sure whether you're exactly 18 or not. For that, you need a BMD DEXA scan, which is 96 to 98% accurate. Am I telling everyone on this call to go rush and do a BMD DEXA scan? I'm not, because it's probably a little obsessive and a little over the top to go and do a BMD DEXA scan just to find out. But hey, if you're a fitness enthusiast and you really want to find out, that is your go-to answer. That's what we get mainly to find the bone mineral density and see how strong your bones are, whether we need to start osteoporosis treatment or not. But the scan scans your whole body, so it gives us the exact amount of muscle, fat, everything comes in that report. That is what we need to focus on, not your BMI. So if anyone is still confused about BMI को छोड़ दो. 2023 में BMI obsolete है. Acha, one more thing, since we're at it, in 1 minute I'll tell you all. The reason why BMI was mainly created was to tell someone if they are overweight or obese or normal category. Now there are so many errors in this क्योंकि आपके height और weight के हिसाब से आपका BMI normal आ रहा था, but people were still overweight. So they were thinking, हाँ मेरा BMI normal है, I can go about life. So a simple calculation that you can do is that if you are above 10% of your ideal body weight, you are considered overweight by medical definition. And if you are over 20% of your ideal body weight, you are considered obese. Try and follow this rather than calculating your BMI. For example, if I feel my ideal weight is 70 kgs and I am weighing 77, it means I am overweight. You will look at me and you will feel, ha, Indian standards ke liye to ye bahut fit hai, but no, I am overweight. And if I'm 84, in which you will feel I'm looking a little chubby, my cheeks will be a little more, my tummy will be coming out a little, by medical standards, I am obese. But when you see me outside, you'll be like, obese? Like, hamare dimag mein obese ka matlab to wo tha. But no. So overweight is 10% more than your ideal body weight. Obesity is 20% more than your ideal body weight. These are medical definitions. You can't negotiate with them. You are either normal body weight, overweight, or obese. There is no fourth option in this situation. So that is a better calculator than your BMI. And if you want to be obsessive, body mass composition is the way to go. Forget about BMI.
I'm obsessive. I'm going to go and get this DEXA scan or whatever that is. I'm going to do that.
I did it last month. It's eye-opening. Do it. It won't
Yeah,
be.
how much is your body fat percentage?
Mine came 22.5. And what I was doing on the scale, these scales that you get, it was coming 20.5. And I was like, damn, I'm getting below 20. I'm getting below 20. But hey, I wasn't. So it's a little eye-opening. But yeah, you should go ahead and do it.
Okay. The next question somebody wants to know is, how can we reduce triglycerides?
Triglycerides and your entire lipid profile can be worked on by reducing fatty foods by consuming good fat. See, there are different types of fat. Oh my God, this is a separate lecture. There are different types of fats. There's saturated, monosaturated, polysaturated, trans fat, and there's a whole lot of things. In layman's terms, overall आपका जो lipid profile है, अगर उसको आपको improve करना है, oily foods बंद करो, fried foods बंद करो, home cooked meals with better oil options like avocado oil, olive oil, these may be better options. This is the way over time your lipid profile will get reduced, and also by exercising and working out, because that will completely improve your liver metabolism as well. This is a quick way of just telling you oily foods, fatty foods, fried foods, stop, use better oils for home cooking as well, and work out. That's the best way to improve your lipid profile. And if you don't improve it and it reaches a point where your cholesterol levels increase, your ratio between HDL, LDL changes, your triglycerides are high, you're going to need to see a physician and you're going to need to be put on medication. So try and solve it without medication, please.
I just want to add one thing here. For all those people watching this video right now and feeling कि घर पे बनी हुई पूरी healthy होती है, नहीं होती है, please वो भी मत खाना. Okay, so what are the options for protein for vegetarians?
So of course, they are lesser. I'll be honest. I don't know how many consider eggs as vegetarian or not. Some do, some don't. So obviously, if you consider eggs as vegetarian and you can eat eggs, number one, there's no question about it. You have nowadays you have such newer options like tempeh. I don't know how many people know about tempeh, but that has come out. Just check about tempeh. It's a different source of vegan protein source that has come out, that a lot of companies are making some great tempeh, and you can use it to cook it with some sauteed vegetables and make a great meal out of it. So tempeh is something that I've tried myself, and it's very good. Iske alawa, you obviously have paneer, but paneer comes with equal amount of protein and fat, so you need to take care of that, but it's good fat. Paneer is good fat, so it's not an issue. You obviously have soy, that is your other option, and then you have varieties of quinoas and other sort of legumes and pulses that you can add. Very, very difficult, because the amount, see, when you have lots of dal has equal amount of protein and carbs. When you have lots of paneer, it has equal amount of protein and fats. So that is where a clean, lean source Like, of course, tempeh comes into the picture, and this is something we're really telling patients to go into is soy and tempeh, because that is where you get great amount of protein. If you can eat eggs, there's nothing like it. I mean, I'm a veg plus eggs eater, and I eat 8 eggs a day without fail. uh,
So
One thing I'd
you
like
you
to
eat 8 eggs with the yellows?
just 2 yellows and six, the other six are just whites. Again, this is a decision I have taken after seeing my lipid profile. So if my lipid profile was different, the amount of yolks would have been 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think up to 4 is absolutely okay for someone who's this thing, but my lipid profile came in a particular way that I said, wait, two is where I want to go. One thing I want to talk about is, and because someone has brought it up, is to please embrace protein supplements. I am a big advocate of accepting protein supplements. Please don't be so against it, especially if you're vegetarian, you're not eating chicken and fish. Please embrace protein supplements. Of course, the brand you choose and everything is a completely separate topic of discussion. It has to be authentic protein supplements. There's a lot of adulterated crap that is available in India, that is in there's a lot of scams that have been exposed also of people just adulterated protein powder. They're using fake labels and they're selling it on Amazon and all of that. So that is a completely separate thing. But embrace protein supplements. In one scoop of whey protein, you are getting 24 grams of protein. 24 grams is 4 whole eggs. It's much easier to consume it in a shake. I'm a firm believer that every vegetarian, irrespective of working out or not working out, needs to take 1 scoop of whey protein. That's the only way you're hitting your protein goals. Whenever we talk about dietary sources, I make it a point to give an additional point that embrace supplements. Don't run away from it. If you can afford it, embrace it.
But I also am a huge fan of supplements because, like you rightly said, it's easier to fulfill your protein requirement by means of a scoop. But how many scoops in a day is okay? Is not too
So
much.
again, there's no answer for there's no one answer for everyone. There's different calculations depending on a person's particular weight and a person's activity level.
Activity level.
Depending on your weight in kgs, let's say I am 75 kgs, I take 1.5 grams of protein per kg of my body weight. So 75 plus 37.5 over 110 grams is what I feel I need to consume because I work out 6 times a week. Even if you don't work out, which by the end of this call, if you're still not starting, then I don't know if what you've learned. But even if you don't, 1 to 1.2 grams per kg body weight तो minimum है, वो तो आपको लेना ही है. तो आपको 75 to 90 grams for a 75 kg person तो लेना ही है. As a vegetarian आप 75 ग्राम कैसे लोगे? आप 4 वाटी दाल भी लोगे तो भी नहीं आएगा. तो आपको एक स्कूप में तो 25 ग्राम मिनिमम लेना ही चाहिए. I take 2 scoops a day, but that is because of how my day is planned, along with 6 to 8 eggs a day. So you can only imagine someone who's not having eggs will definitely need to take 2 scoops a day. Again,
So a
it's
lot
very
of
difficult.
lot of people also feel that these supplements cause cancer. For somebody like me, is it okay to take 2 scoops a day since I also work out like 6 to 7 days a week?
Absolutely okay. Cancer का तो कुछ भी related नहीं है to whey protein and protein supplements. The only thing there is a little red flag is if there is a pre-existing kidney disease. That's the only little red flag. But even then, with a nephrologist's advice and plan, whey protein is given. So that's the only other thing. There's no question of any other side effects. Nothing else happening. There are certain things that can happen with certain types of whey protein to someone, like bloating, acidity, acne, all of those things. That depends on a particular brand, a particular flavor, a particular type of whey proteins, suiting you or not. And if it doesn't, you have plant proteins, you have pea proteins, you have vegan protein options. There's so much that has come out now. So you just need to find that one that suits your skin and your digestive issues. Uske alawa no.
And what do you have to say about the sodium content in proteins? Because plant proteins, I believe, go up to like 450, 500 mg of sodium in per scoop.
Absolutely. Again, you are now getting brands which they have understood that the consumer is having an issue with this. The consumer is aware about this. So you're getting brands that are saying lower on sodium as well. So it's about finding that entire ingredient list and seeing what you can or cannot consume. There are some who probably will reduce it in different parts of their diet and still take that protein because they still need those 25 grams of protein. So as we get more and more aware, the brands are also getting more and more aware, and they are coming up with solutions based on what the consumer wants. So I don't think that's something to worry much about. Tomorrow there'll be a new thing saying that अरे प्रोटीन में इतना ये भी है तो इतना इतना ये ग्राम होना चाहिए. 6 महीने में नया प्रोडक्ट आ जाएगा making that change also. So that is just nothing to worry.
Okay, so the next question is, what should I do after my cancer treatment? Chemos and 3 surgeries and radiations has made me gain a lot of weight because of too much steroids. Recently checked reports, high cholesterol, borderline pre-diabetic.
I would strongly suggest that please go to a clinical nutritionist to do anything. So, not only do I feel I am not qualified enough to give someone nutrition advice when they have an entire medical history, even though trained in sports medicine, I feel I'm not the right person. Additionally, over a webinar and over a group conversation, definitely I don't feel any advice that I give should be taken into consideration. I would refrain from giving it myself. So I would be doing injustice by just giving generic advice to a patient like you. I would be doing right by informing you that, hey, whatever you've gone through, I respect that, but please go to a clinical nutritionist, not even a health coach or a dietitian, a clinical nutritionist who's trained in medical disease management, and please get an entire program and plan along with your blood reports being shown to them, and that would be the right advice from me to you.
So I think this session has been very, very insightful, and the takeaways that I've had from this session is एक तो ये कि आप अपने आप को किसी से compare मत करो, अपनी body के benchmarks को decide करो and decide what kind of workout plan you want to incorporate in your life basis your medical history and basis your daily routine and your work, professional life and everything. And also, when you're talking about weight loss, you don't just think about reducing your calories, but also look at the macros, look at how much protein, carbs, and fat you're consuming during the day. और तीसरी चीज जो मैं कहना चाहूंगी वो ये है that whatever routine that you want to incorporate in your life, you have to make sure that you can make that a lifestyle change in your life and not otherwise it will just be a fad. आप 10 दिन कर लोगे, हफ्ता कर लोगे, महीना कर लोगे, you will probably see results also, but if it's not something which is sustainable for you, chances are that you'll fail. And for all those people who have been asking me about how to stay motivated, I want to say that more important than staying motivated is to be disciplined. So just have that discipline in life. And in my experience, if you decide a particular time in the day for your exercise, try and do it at the same time so that it can become a part of your discipline, it can become a part of your routine, and you're on your path to victory. And with this, we come to the end of the session. Dr. Manan, it was great talking to you, and I've learned so much from you today. I hope everybody has also learned. And like you rightly said, इतना सब सुनने के बाद भी अगर कोई exercise नहीं करता है तो क्या ही किया फिर हमने. So thank you so much for joining us, and all of you, the audience also, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for the next session of Sunday Health with Policy Bazaar. This is both of us signing out. Love and peace from us to you.
Thank you, Chavi. Thank you.